Cats are mysterious, charming, and full of personality. Unlike dogs who openly wag their tails and bark for attention, cats use a far more subtle language to connect with humans. In the United States, millions of households share their homes with cats, and yet many owners still wonder, what is my cat really trying to tell me? The truth is, cats communicate every single day with their owners. They do it through body language, vocal sounds, touch, and even routines. Once you learn to understand these signals, your relationship with your cat can become deeper, more trusting, and honestly, just way more enjoyable. The language of meows is pretty fascinating. Cats don't usually talk to each other by meowing. That's something they mainly do with humans. Over time, cats in US households have learned that meows get attention from their owners. A short, high-pitched meow is like a friendly greeting. Repeated meows? That's your cat saying, "Hey, look at me, I need something." A low, drawn-out meow is often a complaint or demand like wanting food. Chirps or trills usually mean excitement or encouragement, often when they want you to follow them. Every cat develops a slightly different vocabulary and, American cat owners often joke that they can tell exactly which meow means feed me and which one means open. The silent tail language is another way cats express themselves. A cat's tail is like a flag that reveals its emotions. Learning this helps owners avoid misunderstandings. When the tail is straight up, that means happiness and friendliness. This is the classic "I love you" human signal. If the tail is quivering, it's pure excitement, like when you walk in the door after work. A puffed-up tail shows fear or that they're feeling threatened. Slow swishing usually means focus or a hunting mood, often just before pouncing on a toy. Rapid tail flicks? That's irritation or overstimulation. In US cat households, many owners notice their cats greeting them with an upright tail. A silent but powerful message of eye contact and slow blinks are actually a big part of cat communication. Cats rarely maintain long, hard stares unless they feel challenged. But if your cat looks at you softly and gives a slow blink, it's the feline version of saying, "I trust you." Many American cat owners even practice slow blink sessions with their cats. This small exchange helps strengthen the human-cat bond. On the other hand, dilated pupils or an unbroken stare can mean excitement, fear, or aggression. So next time your cat blinks at you slowly, try returning the gesture. It's honestly one of the sweetest conversations you'll ever have without words. Most people believe cats purr only when they are happy. While that's true, purring has other meanings too. Sometimes it signals contentment, like when your cat is lounging on your lap, purring softly. But cats may also purr to self-soothe when they're nervous, stressed, or even injured. And get this, studies in the United States have shown that the frequency of a cat's purr can actually help reduce stress and even promote healing in bones and tissues. So when your cat purrs next to you, it's not just showing affection, it might also be calming both itself and you. Cats use their bodies to leave messages. Headbutts or bunting happen because cats have scent glands on their faces. When they headbutt you, they're marking you as theirs. In American homes, this is honestly one of the clearest signs of love. Kneading with their paws is a leftover behavior from kittenhood, when they kneaded their mother's belly for milk. Adult cats do it when they feel secure, happy, and connected with their owner. So, if your cat climbs into your lap, gives you a headbutt, and starts kneading, that's their way of saying, "You are my safe." Cats are definitely creatures of habit, and they communicate through routines. Maybe you've noticed your cat waiting by the food bowl at the same time every morning, or sitting by the door when they know you're about to leave for work, or curling up on the couch the moment you settle in for a TV show. These patterns aren't random, they're your cat's way of structuring life with you. In US homes, a lot of owners notice their cats almost act like alarm clocks, reminding them when it's feeding or bedtime. Cats have a secret language that humans can't smell: scent communication. They use scent glands located on their cheeks, paws, and tails to leave behind messages. When a cat rubs against furniture, it's basically saying, "This is mine." If your cat rubs against your legs, it's telling you, "You are part of my family." Scratching posts or furniture isn't just about sharpening claws, but also about leaving scent marks. In the United States, a lot of cat owners are honestly surprised when their cat rubs against visitors. But this is actually the cat's way of investigating and lightly marking them with scent, almost like taking ownership. Body posture is like a silent story for cats. A cat's overall body position communicates more than many people realize. An arched back with fur standing up means fear or a defensive posture. If you see a relaxed body lying on the side, that's a sign of comfort and trust. Rolling onto their back shows vulnerability. Now, a lot of Americans think this is an invitation for belly rubs, but for cats, it often means, "I trust you, but don't always touch here." Understanding posture really helps prevent miscommunication between cats and humans. Sometimes cats just sit and watch their owners. These are their silent stares. This look can mean a few different things: curiosity about what you're doing, waiting for you to respond to a need, or even a form of quiet bonding, as if they're simply enjoying your presence. In many United States households, owners report that their cats watch them from doorways or shelves. While it might feel mysterious, it's usually a sign of interest, not aggression. So, here's something interesting. Cats don't just meow, they actually have a whole variety of sounds they use to communicate. For example, when a cat chirps, it's usually a sign of excitement, like when they spot a bird outside or they want you to notice something cool. Now, yowling is a bit different. It can signal loneliness, maybe some mating behavior, or just plain discomfort. And then there are growls and hisses. Those are really clear warnings that say, "Hey, back off." A lot of American cat owners, by the way, compare those chirps to the sound of a small question, almost like the cat is asking, "Did you see that too?" Moving on, touch is a pretty powerful connection for cats. They're actually really careful with physical contact. When a cat licks you, it's their way of treating you like family, just like they would groom another cat. If your cat chooses to sleep on you, that's a huge sign of trust and comfort, since cats are most vulnerable when they're asleep. And if you ever feel a paw on your hand or your chest, it's usually just a gentle reminder that they want a bit of attention or some closeness. In US cat-loving homes, a lot of people describe the moment their cat curls up and falls asleep on them as one of the most bonding experiences of pet ownership. And let's not forget, playtime isn't just about fun for cats. It's actually a form of interaction. When your cat chases toys, they're releasing their hunting instincts but also bonding with you at the same time. If your cat brings toys to you, that's their way of inviting you into their little world. And playing hide and seek, that's a trust-based game, showing your cat feels safe enough to engage with you like that. In American families, especially those with kids, cats often become even more expressive and playful, which really strengthens communication between you and your furry friend. Sometimes, humans misread what cats are trying to say. For example, tail wagging, unlike dogs, this usually doesn't mean happiness. It often signals irritation. And when a cat exposes its belly, it's actually a trust signal, but not always an invitation to pet. In fact, many cats really dislike belly rubs. If you've ever been suddenly bitten during petting, it's not aggression, but a sign that the cat has just had enough stimulation. Learning these differences helps prevent frustration for both cats and their American owners. Cats are surprisingly adaptive when it comes to communication. In many American households, cats behave differently with each family member. With women, cats often respond to higher-pitched voices and gentle tones. With men, they may use more body language, since deeper voices can feel more commanding. And with children, cats usually keep extra distance at first, but once trust is built, they may become very playful. This really shows that cats carefully adjust their communication style depending on who they're interacting with. Believe it or not, cats sometimes copy their owners. In US homes, owners often notice that their cat follows them around, sits in the same room, or even meows back when spoken to. This isn't random, it's the cat's way of strengthening connection, almost like saying, "I'm part of your routine too." Cats might not understand every English word, but they absolutely respond to tone. A soft, calm tone encourages trust. A high-pitched tone often excites them, kind of like baby talk does. But a loud, harsh tone can make them hide or feel anxious. In the US, cat behaviorists often suggest using a consistent, gentle tone when training or calling your cat. Over time, cats learn to associate your voice with safety and care. Cats are, highly sensitive to human emotions. Many American owners say their cats sit near them when they're sad or stressed, almost like offering comfort. If you're relaxed, your cat may stretch out beside you. If you're anxious, your cat may act restless too. If you're sad, your cat may purr or cuddle more often. This really shows how cats don't just communicate their own feelings, they also respond to yours. Cats just love stability. When you wake up, feed them, or sit in your favorite chair, they notice and actually adjust their own schedule around yours. Waiting at the door when you return from work, sitting by the bed before you sleep, nudging you in the morning if breakfast is, late. These daily rituals are your cat's way of silently communicating, "You and I live in the same rhythm." Sometimes, silence itself is a message. A cat quietly sitting near you without demanding attention is actually a form of companionship. A cat avoiding you or hiding, on the other hand, can be a signal of stress, fear, or even sickness. American veterinarians often advise owners to pay attention when a usually vocal cat suddenly goes quiet, since this can signal health issues. Cats may not cry or complain like humans, but when they are stressed, they have these subtle ways of telling their owners. Excessive grooming can actually be a sign of anxiety in cats. Hiding under furniture? That usually points to fear or maybe insecurity. And if your cat is overeating or not eating at all, that's often a reaction to emotional stress. In American homes, a lot of cat owners first notice these stress signals after moving to a new house, bringing home a new pet, or even following a loud family event. Recognizing these early signs really helps owners make their cats feel safe again. Cats often try to hide pain. It's a survival instinct they picked up from their wild ancestors. But honestly, they do communicate illness if you know what to look for. Like sudden silence from a cat that's usually talkative, or maybe a different posture, like crouching or avoiding movement altogether. A change in litter box habits can be a pretty subtle signal that something is wrong. In the United States, veterinarians encourage owners to treat these behavior changes as silent communication. It's often the very first clue that medical care is needed. Believe it or not, cats have been known to alert their owners during emergencies. Some American families have actually reported cats waking them up during house fires. Others say their cats meowed continuously before earthquakes or storms. Cats might paw at doors, jump on their owners, or just act really restless when they sense danger. This just goes to show that cats don't only communicate their daily needs, sometimes they can literally save lives. Not every sign of communication is affectionate. Sometimes cats are very clear about wanting distance. Ears back, tail flicking rapidly, a low growl or hiss. These are all ways cats say, "I need space." For United States owners, respecting this communication is key. Ignoring it can damage trust. One of the most powerful ways cats communicate is through their calming presence. Sitting beside you quietly when you're stressed, purring while you're sad, which, by the way, has been shown to lower blood pressure, and curling up on your chest during illness, offering comfort without words. Many American cat lovers say this silent support is the most meaningful communication of all. When owners respond correctly to their cat's signals, giving attention when asked, respecting space when needed, and noticing stress or sickness early, the bond grows stronger. In the United States, cat experts recommend treating every small sign as part of an ongoing conversation. Over time, the cat learns, "My human understands me." Cats may not speak English, but they constantly share their feelings, needs, and even warnings through body language, sound, and silent actions. In American households where cats are beloved companions, understanding these signals is more than communication. It's the foundation of trust and love. So far, we've explored how cats use body language, vocalization, and even scent to communicate with their human companions.